You should have already opened up your project from the other day that has our sample paint swatches and our usages of the brush, the hardness, the size, and the eraser tool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a shape for our apple, so when we start painting it, we know what size and how and where we're painting. To do that, we're going to go to our toolbar and we're going to search for the Ellipse tool. The Ellipse tool might be hiding underneath the pen tool. It might be hiding underneath the rectangle tool. You could search for it. You can always try to press the letter U to try to find it on the toolbar. But we're looking for the one that says Ellipse tool. It's a black oval. Once I've selected it, you're going to see that I have a plus sign. When I click and drag with that plus sign, I'm going to be able to make a circle. If I don't like the circle that you make the first time is probably going to be by default colored red. If you don't like the circle that you made, just Control Z and undo it. I'm going to go ahead and do that again. I'm going to click and drag and make a circle. Up top over here, if your circle happens to be red, blue, green, or even no color at all, what we want to do is we want to go up to where the shape options are, and we want to find the box that says Fill. Under Fill, we want to make sure that the red X is selected. That means it's clear. The next box over is called Stroke. On the Stroke box, we want to make sure that it has a color. You could select any of these colors. It really doesn't matter. Black is fine. You could make it red, you could make it green, you could make it whatever. When you're done with that, you're going to go over to the next box, which is the thickness of the stroke. And we're going to make sure that that is set at 1. And you can click and highlight it, hit enter, and now you have it at 1. Once you're done making that circle, we want to kind of make the circle a little less perfect. So to do that, we're going to go back to our toolbar and we're going to find the Direct Select tool. There may be a Path Select tool that looks almost the same. The Direct Select tool has a clear arrow, not a black arrow. We're going to select that. With the Direct Select tool, we can kind of mouse over our circle. And what we want to do is when the mouse actually shows us this little dot, we want to click and hold. When we click and hold, we're able to manipulate that dot and move it. You can also touch the handle that's created, and you can make things shorter or longer off the handle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around to the dots on the corners and side and top of my apple here. And I'm going to go and manipulate those options just a little bit. And what happens is you're essentially changing the curve of that circle. And all we want to do is we want to kind of make that circle sort of fit the apple a little bit better. So there's no empty gaps or anything. When we're done with that, and we've created a shape that's a little less perfect, and it doesn't have to be exactly like the apple, because it just doesn't need to be a perfect circle, then we want to move it over. To move it, we're going to go to our Move tool, which is the first tool on our toolbar. We're going to make sure that Auto Select is unselected, and then we're going to click and drag and move that shape over. Now that that shape is moved over, I just want to create one little tiny shape, even just a line, to indicate where the stem is going to be. It's to indicate where that little dip in the apple is going to be, that dimple. To do that, I'm going to go back to my toolbar. I'm going to find the pen tool. There's a free pen tool and a pen tool. We want the regular pen tool. If you can't find it on the toolbar, you can always press the letter P. That should automatically switch it to it. With the pen tool, we're going to go ahead and go right by the top part of this apple, we're going to click once. If something like that happens for you, you're just going to hit layer 1 and then come back and click once. You should get just a blue dot. If you don't get what I did, undo it, click on another layer and try again. When you make that blue dot, it should automatically create something called shape 2. And then you're going to move over and you're going to click and hold. When you click and hold, you're going to drag the mouse. And when you drag the mouse, you're going to be able to make what's called a curve. And all I want you to do is just make a slight, subtle curve that looks a little bit like a little smiley face. You see that's shape 2. If you want to get out of the selected area so you can see what it looks like, just click on layer 1. If this is what you've gotten, that's great. All you have to do right now is go to File, Save as a PSD. Make sure it's saved so we have this to work from for tomorrow. And then take a screenshot of it. Control, Shift, and tapping the letter S. And you should be able to click and drag, take a screenshot so that I can see your layer window and your work. And this is what you'll submit for the next project, which I am going to post very shortly.